The Talmud asks, why is it that Jerusalem was destroyed? Why is it that the Jewish people have been in exile for so long, since the year 70 CE? And they give us a most remarkable answer. Lor chava Yerushalayim ela mipnei shedanu ba din Torah. Jerusalem was only destroyed because the inhabitants of Jerusalem were particular to follow the rulings of the Torah. They were particular to pass all of their judgments according to the Torah. The Talmud says, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with following the strict letter of the law? And the Talmud concludes and answers, that is precisely the problem. They were particular always to follow the strict letter of the law. They wouldn't let things go an inch. If you owed me 100, I wanted 100 from you. I wasn't concerned about your background, the fact that perhaps you were experiencing some difficulty. Everything had to be according to the book. And people have to be able to let it go occasionally. And because they didn't let it go and they were so particular to always follow the rules of the Torah, Jerusalem was destroyed. Let's try to understand this in the context of our Parshat this week, Parshat Vayeira, in which we are introduced to the people of Sodom v'Amorah, Sodom and Gomorrah, which is ultimately destroyed by God. What was so wrong? What was the philosophy of the city of Sodom? And we have a very telling statement of our sages in Pirkei Avot, Ethics of the Fathers, where the discussion is about how people relate to other people and other people's money. And the Mishnah mentions 4 different levels. The first level is where a person says, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. Says the Mishnah, Zu midat beinonit. This is an average way. V'yesh omrim, but there are those who say, Zu midat stom. This is the way of Sodom, the town of Sodom. Then we have another level where a person says, what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. Says the Mishnah, that's an amaretz, that's an ignorant person. People have to understand that there are boundaries. I have property, you have property. I have assets, you have assets. It's not all shared together in a communal framework. There has to be some type of delineations and boundaries. And therefore, a person who has such a view is considered to be an ignorant person. Then there is a person who says, what's mine is yours to share, and what's yours is yours. I don't expect anything back from you, but I'm very prepared to share what I have with you. And the last level is a person who says, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. I want all of what is mine, and I also want to take from you, and such a person is considered to be a rasha, a wicked person. I think that 3 of these levels are very understandable, but it's that first level that's difficult to understand. Somebody who says, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. And here we have the argument that one opinion says, this is average. Why is it average? Because he doesn't want to take from others, and that's a good attribute, but at the same time, he doesn't want to give to others, and that's a negative attribute. So therefore, he's in the middle. But the second opinion says, Zu midat stom. No, this is the way of the Sodomites. This was their underlying principle and philosophy. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. There's no sharing whatsoever. Sodom, the philosophy of that town, in fact, there were 5 towns, was that they had the most beautiful place in the land of Israel. The Torah describes it, Kegan Hashem, it was like Gan Eden. It was a very lush valley, and it was wonderful. The people who settled there had everything. But the more that they had, they became selfish. And they said, we don't want to share this with anybody else. And therefore they created a philosophy of, if I take from you, then I'm indebted to you, and then I feel I have to give back to you. And therefore what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours. And this, the Talmud says, is referred to as midat stom. This is the attribute to the people of Sodom, where one is always so particular to follow the set letter of the law. This is what you owe me, and this is what I owe you. And that's how it's going to be. And that's unfortunately what happened in the times of Jerusalem when Jerusalem was destroyed. The people there were so particular. They wouldn't let it go even an inch. And the Talmud says that in normal halakha, in normal Jewish law, we can force a person not to act in an unreasonable way. This is called kofin or midat stom. We force you not to behave like the people of Sodom. There are many examples, but one beautiful example is called the bar mitzvah. You have a person who has a number of fields, and he decides he's going to sell a field for a particular price. Two people come forward and they both offer him the same amount of money. One person lives far away and the other person has his field bordering on the field that's for sale. And therefore it's very convenient for him because he'll be able to annex the two fields together and increase the size of his land. The person who is selling is not allowed to sell his field to the person who lives far away because that would be unreasonable. He's getting the same price. And therefore, what he should try to do is to benefit from the person who lives right next to him. Why be unreasonable? The way of Sodom was to be unreasonable and to say, it's my assets, I can deal with them as I like. So it wasn't that overnight the people of Sodom became these wicked people, these vicious people, but it was the underlying philosophy. We have something beautiful, we're not prepared to share it, and we're not prepared to share it an inch. And therefore the Talmud says that's why Jerusalem was destroyed. Jerusalem was meant to be a place of giving, a place of sharing. And that's the lesson that we have to take back. Because any generation which the temple is not rebuilt, it's considered as if we are responsible for its destruction. And therefore we have to make sure that we're prepared to share and that we're not particular to always claim what is ours, but that we should give over to other people. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.